Many beginners do not even start writing answer. They think that once the prelims is over, then only I would try to write answer, or once the I clear prelims, then it would be better for me to write answer. There should not come any day that you think you would be able to write the best answer on that day. So the best strategy remains the consistency of writing daily. Once you start writing a decent answer, then you would be searching for how to make your answer more presentable. So in this case, maps, flowchart, and diagrams become very important. In any question, you can write that with the help of AI, we can solve this issue, or with the help of AI, we can be. It would be very helpful to organize this problem. Then there is this stakeholder value option decision approach framework. It is mainly helpful for you in the GS4 part. What UPSC actually wants. The first thing is good evening to everyone. This would be an answer writing session, or you can say it will be more of a workshop where it will be interactive, and I would tell you something about answer writing from my experience of 2 years in Mains, and I would also tell you why answer writing is very much important and why it is key to our selection in UPSC, because Mains has maximum weightage, it is 1750, and if you have a good hold over answer writing, then you would secure very good marks, and that can have a good impact on your selection in UPSC. So starting with answer writing, so it is the problem that many beginners do not even start writing answer. They think that once the prelims is over, then only I would try to write answer, or once the I clear prelims, then it would be better for me to write answer. And then there are many students who feel that I have not done a good number of revision, or I do not have hold over the content. So these are the two major issues why people do not start answer writing. And also there is great inertia in writing answer. So this becomes the core issue why one do not start answer writing. But one thing I have learned through this journey is that the earlier you start writing answer, the better it would be for your mains preparation and UPSC preparation. So keep this in mind that even if you do not clear prelims, if you have commanded or made a good hold over answer writing, then you are in a good shape, or you are in a good position to give the next attempt, or having a good confidence in clearing the mains whenever you sit for it. So, what are the main components of answer writing, and what is the demand of the UPSC in the mains examination? So, we have tried to break what UPSC actually wants a candidate from their answer. The first thing is whatever the question has been asked by UPSC, that should be answered in its totality. That meeting the demand is first criteria of getting at least a decent mark. Then there is emphasis on how you have structured your answer, whether your answer was balanced or not, whether you have put a good introduction or not, then whether in the body, whatever was asked in the question, if there was two part of the question, then you have answered both of the parts or not. And then comes the conclusion. So since this is a UPSC examination and you are going to be future bureaucrat, so you should be solution oriented, and hence your solution or your conclusion should be a bit optimistic, or providing some closer to what has been the asked in the question, or what has been the problem that has been denoted in the question. So try to end them on a optimistic notes, which have a clear positive impact on the examiner as well, and then you can have a better scoring opportunity. So these are the main criteria of answer writing, or main breakdown. That first you have to understand the question, understand the demand of the question. So try to read your question very carefully. try to underline the main part, whatever has been asked in the question, then put a good introduction, and then try to write a good body where you would be answering the demand and not going or beating around the bushes, and then put a good conclusion. So this is what I had talked earlier about the master formula, about the demand, uh, and then in the body, you would open the dimensions on what have been asked. Suppose there is any question, then it would have multiple dimension. It would have multiple uh, understanding. You can approach it through various parts, and it would not only be a one-dimensional question. So you should be opening multiple dimensions, and you should not be deviating from the demand anywhere. So that's why direction is very important. What has been asked in the question, you should be only revolving around that. So many people in the beginning ask, sir, what should we write in such kind of the question, which start with discuss, or which start with the examine, or which start with the critically analyze, or which start with the evaluate. People often get confused that they often look the same, but is it a bit different, or are all the same? All of them are the same. So if there is a question which start with the discuss, then your focus should be on presenting multiple sides of the issue, and then you can state the problem which is related to the topic in a light tone, and then you can have a conclusion. And in the examine part, if the question start with examine, then in that part you can go through, or you can investigate causes. If uh, there is any question like examine why there is the failure of governance in uh, any crisis management in India again and again. Then there you should investigate causes, and then you would write what are the effect of these failure for them again and again, and then you would write what are the limitations on the part of the governance that they are not being able to take the measures on the time. And this should be structured in your examine part. Then there come the critically analyze part. So these are the questions which demand your clear understanding, and it also demand a lot of depth from your side. So here you would cover the positive and negative, and you would try to deliver a reasoned judgment and a balanced judgment. Since you are going to be bureaucrat, you are going to uh, uh, engage with multiple stakeholders, and that's why your balanced judgment and balance in position in this exam is very important. uh, so this is why you should write both aspect of anything which has been asked you to analyze critically. You would write positive, negatives. If there is anything way forward, you can give a way forward, and then you can write the introduction, a conclusion part. And there is evaluate part. So in the evaluate part, if any question is asked, evaluate the performance of digital public infrastructure that has been ruled by the governance or the government. So here you would try to give the success of digital public infrastructure, where you would write how it have been helpful in financial inclusion, and then you would write where they have lacked, or where they have been not so much successful. So you can write their exclusion part, or people not getting benefit, or marginalized people who need them most are not getting the benefit, or then digital divide. You can write these things. So, I would tell you about the context with the help of example. So suppose there is a question, discuss the role of governor uh, in state politics. And there is a second question, critically analyze the role of governor in state politics. So in the first question, discuss the role of governor in state politics. In this part, what you would write? You would write the basic things, or the multidimensional role of the governor they have in state politics. You would write about through the help of the article how they are helpful in linking, or as a balance between the center and the state, how they are helpful in passing critical bill to the center and thereby maintaining balance between the federal structure of the governance. Then you would write their role in pardoning and multiple other things. And then on a shorter note, you can write about how they are, or in the recent time, how governors are not performing their functions or not performing their functions according to the spirit of the constitution. So that would be on a lighter too. And then you would write with conclusion like governor are the shorthand of the state at the same time they are the linchpin of uh, federalism in India. So this would be your structure in the discuss. A multi-dimensional role of the governor, and then a short criticism or a short writing on what they have been lacking or what are the recent problems at the position of the governor. And if the question is on the critically analyze the role of governor in state politics, so here you would dig deeper into success or failure part. It would be like a bit on evaluation part. You would here you would have to substantiate your point with the help of recent example. So in a success part or critically analyze how governor has been successful in proving their position as per the spirit of the constitution. You would write some successful governor decision in the recent time, like how some governor has passed important bill to the center and thereby have helped in proper functioning of law and order in the state. And in the failure part, you would critically analyze how in the recent time there has been many scenarios where state has been complaining or going to the Supreme Court against the governor, or how governor has led to the policy paralysis because of the sitting on the bill again and again. So in the critically analyzed part, here substantiating your success and failure of the governor part with the help of example would become very important. Otherwise, the examiner would think that you are only talking in the air. So in this way, you have to understand what the question is trying to ask and what I should write. So this would come you through the maturity, and that's why I was talking earlier that you should start writing as early as the possible. There should not come any day that you think you would be able to write the best answer on that day. So the best strategy remains the consistency of writing daily. Even 1% increment daily would have a very good impact on your writing and the structuring part. And in the span of 3 or 4 months, you would start writing good answer. So consistency and daily writing and starting writing earlier become the key of the answer writing exercises. So many students face problem in beginning. So how to break the inertia, or how should I start writing answer? They say that yes, I have understood that I have to write a good intro, a good body, a good conclusion, or I understand the question, but I do not know how to put my points in that question. So there are many frameworks which you can learn in the beginning so that you do not face any inertia. Or if you have the content, then you can put them in a systematic manner. So I would presenting you some of them 5 frameworks. First of them is intro, body, conclusion part. This is a very simple framework that you have to write an intro, then body as per the demand of the question, and then conclusion or a way forward type thing. Then second part is multi-dimensional thing. Suppose you do not know any question, or you do not have sufficient content over any part of the problem that has been asked, then you can try to think multidimensionally. I would come on this framework later, how you can think multidimensionally. So then the third framework is cause impact solution framework. Fourth one being a stakeholder value decision framework, and this is very important in your GS4 paper. And then when you get matured, then you would be searching for the value enrichment, and then you would be asking how I make my answer better than other or not looking like average. So I would talk on this how you should enrich your answer to have an edge over your competitor or to make your answer outstand among the crowd. So we would talk upon this later. So intro body conclusion is the simplest of the framework, where in the introduction part you would define the topic, then or you can add context to what have been asked. So there was the question on the governor. So you can define the topic with the help of article, some article in the constitution that have provided for the seat of the governor, or you can add context which can substantiate or which can give examiner a view that you are linking this question with the current context and you have understood why this question has been asked. Uh, or you can show that current relevance, which is like adding context. Then in the body part, you would be writing 3, 5 key points and then illustrate it with the help of example. So writing multiple points which are of multidimensional nature become very important, and try to write 3, 4 very good point in the beginning so that when examiner check your copy, uh, they get good point according to the demand of the question in the beginning, and so that they can know that the student has sufficient knowledge and they would give you good mark and move ahead. If you are writing average point in the beginning and good point in the end, then it might be the cases or scenarios that your good points would get overlooked by the examiner. And that's why it's become very important that you organize your thought well, and then you put your key points in the beginning. And this would only come through practice. That's why I'm telling again and again that practice become very important in answer writing. And then you would writing about the conclusion part. In the conclusion, many students provide a way forward, or they gave a conclusion linking it with a article or some committee or anything like that, which not only add value to your answer, but it also shows that you have been able to link the question with your knowledge, and that gets rewarded in the UPSC. So second for framework was multidimensional framework. So many times there are questions, 1 or 2 questions in at least in every paper where you would not have sufficient content, or you do not get hang much about what have been asked in the question, or you do not have many examples how to substantiate. In this case, try to think multidimensionally. Try to think how you can link this question with politics, how you can link this with social issues, how you can link this question with the economic part, how can link it with the ethical. And nowadays, environmental angle also become very important along with the technological angle. In any question, you can write that with the help of AI, we can solve this issue, or with the help of AI, we can be it would be very helpful to organize this problem. So if you do not have sufficient knowledge or you do not have sufficient content over any question that has been asked, and this would happen very much in the beginning, then try to go multidimensionally. This pastel approach would help you very, very much. And to start with, you can put the beginner sentence or starter sentence that issue has multiple dimension socially, or you can then write in the body part that socially, this economically, administratively. So it would also show that your answer has become multiple dimension and that you have a good understanding, even if you do not have a good hold over the content. So in the beginning, try to master this approach while you would be brainstorming the question or while you would be writing answer. Try to link it with as many dimensions as you can. This would not make your answer very good, but it would also make examiner understand that you have good grasp over any issues and you have good understanding of it through various dimensions. So this was the second approach. In the third approach, which has cause impact solution, so this approach is mainly used in the questions which arises with or which start with challenges, or which has question like what should be the reform in any schemes. So in these questions, like what are the challenges of textile industry in India, so here you would try to link it with this framework that okay, so the examiner has asked me about the challenges, so I can write the root cause of the challenge, or what has led to these challenges, and then you would write what are the impact of these challenges, or what are the impact of these crises, and do not ever end any question with only uh, cause or impact. Do provide the solution, do provide a way ahead. This shows, or this shows your problem solving nature, and this is what is being demanded by the UPSC. So any question which arises like this, challenges, crisis, failure, or asking about what reform should be done, so in this kind of question you would be writing, or you would try to think through this approach. Then there is this stakeholder value option decision approach framework. It is mainly helpful for you in the GS4 part, where you would, and this is very much important or useful in the case studies part, where you would be writing any question with the help of stakeholders, values, and then there would be question what are the options available to you, evaluate every option, and then you would be coming to decision part, that which options among the above I would be choosing, and then you would be providing the conclusion. So this approach or framework is mainly helpful in ethics paper. So if there is any question in the brainstorming part, we would talk on this more. And then the last thing comes about value enrichment structure. Like once you start writing a decent answer, then you would be searching for how to make your answer and outstand in the crowd, or how to make it more lucid to be read by the examiner, or how could you make it more presentable. So in this case, maps, flowchart, and diagrams become very important. For example, suppose there is question in GS1 on history or on the architecture part, then providing the map of the India, or providing the architecture of temple, or architecture of whatever has been asked in the question become very important. That not only make your answer more attractive, but it also break the monotonicity among the evaluator who is evaluating the company, or who is evaluating your copy, and it also is kind of a value addition to your answer. So if there is a question in GS1, then do try to draw a map. If there is a question on geography, about the distribution of resources, or about any uh, issues, like there is on the question on flood or question on earthquake, then you should be drawing map which shows the spatial distribution of earthquake, or a spatial distribution of resources in India, or if the question in the on the world, then you would write on the world level. So do draw map in GS1, and this would come with the practice. And then in many question in GS2, you would be drawing flowcharts or mind maps. Suppose there is a question on the role of the governor or anything, then in the beginning you would uh, draw a hub and spoke model, where you would be writing governor in the beginning, and then you would be drawing multiple spokes, where you would be writing a political role, economic role, federal role, and on every part you would be writing a small example, or you would be writing article which substantiate that rule. So these become very important, and this would give you that extra one or half mark, which become very crucial for you. Then there are questions like differentiate or compare. In those questions, if you have a clear understanding, then putting the comparison in the tables become more important, and it also become uh, more attractive and more presenting to the examiner, and that becomes more rewarding for you. So these were the framework that I would like to tell you. Uh, so start writing answer at the earliest that is possible. Don't try for the best moment that I would only write when the I would clear prelims, or I would write when I have sufficient knowledge, or I would only write when I have sufficient uh, revision cycle. Don't wait for any of these. Whatever you have gone through the topic or whatever you have read, make a time frame of 1 or 1.5 hour in the evening or in the morning, and try to write 5 questions daily. In the beginning, if you face any problem in writing answer, then you go through these frameworks, like how this framework can help me even if I do not have sufficient content, even if I do not have sufficient knowledge. Because even if you have spent 2 or 3 months or 1.5 months or 2 months in this preparation, you would have a bit of knowledge of what UPSC is asking, or you would have a bit of knowledge about every dimension uh, of any question. Any question you would be able to at least approach through the pistol approach. So that's why even if you are into the preparation and only have been 2 or 3 months, start writing answer. Don't try to wait for your foundation course to get over or your revision to get over. I would practice some of this session, some of this question with you. And so the question is, examine the major challenges hindering the Indian textile industry from achieving its full potential in the global value chain. So it is question on Indian textile industry, and see the context of the question. This question on textile industry is very important because it is one of the most job provider in the India, and it is getting a lot of problem these days. That's why these questions would resurface again and again in your test series as well, and in the UPSC as well. So take 2 or 3 minute time, try to brainstorm, try to brainstorm it through your knowledge of industry, how industry work. Like you can think from the input part, then the operation part, and then output part. What are the major challenges in these three contexts? Or you can go through textile approach, whatever suits you. I have get some of the points, like these are good points. Infrastructure bottlenecks, uneven distribution of resources or uneven distribution of the industries, about the availability of raw material. Then yes, someone is writing geopolitical instability or tariff war, and that has hampered the export prospect of our textile industry, and that's why it is facing a lot of problem and leading to job loss in our market economy. Ansuman has written very good answer. Introduction, he has started with British economic policy. Then in the body, he has written about the industrialization, lack of institutional support in India, lack of capital formation, and class of industrial entrepreneurs. Yes, economy of scale, case of doing business for ease of doing business for MSME, weak institutional support, input tax credit issue, GST. Yes, very good. Rindali, you have uh, linked it with the recent GST reform as well. India remained cotton test centric. Today is synthetic man-made fiber demand. This is a very, very good point. There is need for us to shift to man-made fiber. Then yes, dominance of China in the market, and also the competition from multiple countries like Bangladesh and Vietnam. Transport and communication, yes, logistic is the very important part here. Competition from other countries, international market dynamics, competition from Vietnam, yes. Yes, so these are the very good points. You are already finding good points. So now it's time for you to present them in a lucid manner. So I will show you my answers later. My answer is also not very good because I was not prepared better at that time. But now I would try you to explain how you should think like that. So the question is, what are the major challenges hindering the Indian textile industry from achieving its full potential in the global value chain? So here there is two very key aspect, major challenges of Indian textile, and then you have to link it with the global value chain. You cannot miss any part. You cannot just write the challenges and not link it with the global value chain, or you cannot just write about the state of Indian textile in the global market and not write multidimensionally on the challenges part. So, see what I have done. Okay, I would come to my solution later and I will show you what are the lacuna in this solution. How could it have been better and what could have been the better approach. So, if there is any question on the problem of industries or any sector, then try to think from the perspective of input, operation, and then output part. So in input part of any industry, what are the major input? So the major inputs are land, labor, capital, market. So even if you do not have any point, even thinking in this direction, you can generate 4 points with the help of labor, land, capital, market. What you can write? That there is the paucity of capital because most of the sectors or Indian textile industry are in the informal sector, and that's why they are not being able to get institutionalized loan. They are getting loan from informal sector, and which is very costly for them. So this is the capital part. Then in the labor part, you can write that labor cost has increased, or then there is a stringent labor rule in India, or there is continuous labor strikes in big cotton industries or big textile industries. So you address the labor part. Then you can address the land part as well. In the land part, what you would write? That in India, there is lack of uh, presence of multiple part of the industries at a single place. The industries is present in very segregated manner in India at different places. Like input or the cotton comes from some place, then it is turned into yarn at some places. Then again it is carried at other places to get manufactured into some textile. And that's why PM Mitra scheme has come to integrate all of these part. So this is the input part where you can generate four major challenges. Okay. And you can link it with the global value chain as well. Like you can write that uh, in the logistic part that our logistic is very segregated or our logistic is not that good or not that efficient. Like I have put an example of how uh, our logistic, focus on this example. From Rotterdam to Mumbai, logistic takes $35 per ton, while from Jamshedpur to Mumbai, $50 per ton. So inside the India, which is less distance to cover, even in that part, our logistic has become very costly. And that's why it is increasing the cost for uh, the industries. And once the cost on logistic or any of the input increases, then the product become very less competitive in the global value chain. So this way you can link it with the global value chain. Then second, what I was telling was about the operation part, how operation, you can generate point from the operation part. You can write here that in most of the informal sector, power looms are not being used. Most of the works are done with the help of hand looms. And this not only decrease the efficiency, but it also uh, produce less amount of cotton or less amount of textile with more labor or more labor gone into that action, and that's why it become more costly and less competitive in the global value chain. Then in the output part, you would write about the logistic issues, how it has not been able to link with the global value chain. And then you would also write about the policies issue, how our policies has not been consistent, and that's why not many global player are not willing to invest in our textile sector in India. So these are the things, these are the way in which you can break this problem and can generate multiple points. So I will show you now my answer. Like I have started with the introduction. Textile industry of India is second most job providing sector in the economy after agriculture, almost 5.5 crore. So I have substantiated it with the help of data, and I have add a context to this problem, and I have shown the examiner why the question is very important in the recent context or in any context. Why it is important? Because textile is providing many jobs in Indian market, and that is lifeline to many family for getting to or for getting the benefit of the development and getting to the inclusive development stage. And that's why introduction become very important. Try to write a good introduction. Then in the challenges of textile industry from achieving full potential in globalization, although I have not divided them in various head, see what I have written. I have written about informal sector. Majority of industry is in informal sector. Almost 70% of them try to provide data. In the beginning, do not focus on data. You would get them later when you would mature enough in your answer part. Uh, some of the students are asking for the PDF, so the host would provide them later. And after that, I have substantiated that point. Why most of the industry being in informal sector is a problem to the textile industry. It decreases economy of scale. This is the main point. Just don't write majority of industry is in informal sector. The examiner asks, then what? What are you trying to say? So I had tried to concise it in the minimum word. And since this is a GS3 question, you should be a bit technical. You should be using terms like economy of scale, uh, multiplier effect, growth multiplier, positive externality. Try to be as technical in economic question as possible, in science and tech question as possible, because this GS3, apart from the agriculture part or some of the part or environment part, they expect you to be a technical. They want to see the technical side of you, and that's why here data become important. That's why here, if you have any graph, you can compare it here. Suppose I had a data that in Australia or in Vietnam, only 20% of the sector are in the informal sector. So I would present them in a bar graph manner. Vietnam 10%, India 70%, and that would catch the eye of the examiner, and you would get more reward. Your answer would look better. So second point is outdated technology in the input part or in the operation part, like old power looms or hand looms. Then labor intensive. That's why it increases the cost of production, and it increases the time of production. You should link it with the global value chain. That time is everything in global market. Whoever has the benefit of first movement or first progress, they usually reap more benefit from the global market. Then I have written the problem of the labor part, labor strikes, stringent labor law, increased logistic cost, and then I have tried to substantiate it with the help of an example, and then I write why I have wrote increased logistic cost because it reduced the competitiveness. Then I was telling you about the multidimensional aspect, and since this is about the global value chain, then you should be opening this aspect, the competition from Bangladesh or Southeast Asia, where there is uh, where there is lenient labor laws, or where they are pushing this through more cohesive policy. So they have more cheaper labor, they have aggressive governance policy, then they have relaxed labor laws, and we are lacking on these things, and that's why we are lagging behind in the global value chain. So, after writing the problem or major challenges, you should not stop there. You should be providing the way forward. What should be the way forward? So, in the way forward part, also you can write sector wise, or you can write dimension wise what you have opened in your body. You can write what you can do on the input part to make it better, or what you can do on the logistic part that can make it better, or you can write here. The effort of the government, recent government, or what the Indian government is doing to make it competitive once again, or to capture the major share of the global pie. So I have written modernization, mechanization of textile industry. So I was telling you about the technical term like mechanization. Then you would be writing how you can make the input uh, 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 more productive, or you can write how you can make the input better. So extra large staple cotton, which are being used by many countries, are giving better result. And in the chat, some people has, or some students has write about moving towards man-made fiber. So those would be the better points. uh, and this point would come only when you would practice again and again. Then I had written about relaxed labor laws, dedicated SEZ. So try to incorporate this terminology in your answer. SEZ, like government is doing many things on a specific economic zone, single window clearance. This would show that you are also tech savvy. And in the end, I have written that textile industry has been trademark of Indian civilization, and its holistic development can lead to inclusive growth. So this is a decent conclusion, but it could have been better. You could have linked it with the PM Mitra scheme. That look, PM Mitra scheme of the government is a way forward to make Indian textile industry once again a dominant force in the global value chain. Or PM Mitra scheme can lead to reduced inefficiency in the cotton or in the textile industry, and that is the way forward or way ahead for us to become a dominant player in the global value chain. So this was how you should be going, how you should be going to any answer. You should be systematic. You should be thinking through all possible dimensions as possible. And most importantly, you should be addressing the demand of the question. So I would take this question. Uh, Globalization has significantly influenced the aspirations, lifestyle, and value system of the Indian youth. Discuss with suitable example. So it is a question on globalization and how it has influenced the aspirations, lifestyle, and value system of Indian youth. So I would show you my answer, what I have written. So I have first defined globalization. Since this was a question on globalization, I have written that as per Anthony Giddens, globalization refers to interconnectedness, interdependence among people all over the world, brought by the flow of people, technology, finance, and information. So this would be a very good introduction. If you are able to write such kind of introduction, which you would be able to do that after a good number of the practice and a good hold over the content, a good hold of the revision later, you would be able to write such kind of introduction. Uh, uh, I had been able to remember the name of the scholar. That's why I thought that it would be better to use this knowledge here. So I have defined the globalization, and I have used key terms like flow of people, flow of technology, flow of finance, and flow of information. These four are the key pillar of globalization, and that's why I have put them in the introduction. Then I had directly came to impact of globalization on a aspiration lifestyle and a value system of the youth. I have written the positive impact. So what I have written the positive impact, secularization of value system in youth. So you should be substantiating it with the example because they have asked discussed with the suitable examples. So no points of yours should be there without any example. Or try to write at least 70 to 80 points and substantiate with the example. So cultural contact through TV reality. So like we are seeing Friends these days, and we can get to know about the culture or value system of the Western world, and that foster tolerance among us. Then I have written increased educational opportunity uh, with the help of Udemy, Coursera, which has led to a better aspiration through the help of better human capital formation. Then I have written about increased economic and employment opportunity. Like then I have substantiated it proliferation of global capability center. Uh, Only with the help of globalization, the companies are being able to establish new global capability centers in other countries because those countries are providing cheap source of manpower, and that has not only helped them to make their product more competitive, but it is also providing job in other economy, other countries. So it is a win-win situation. Then I have written about foster entrepreneurship, and these are how it is influencing the aspirations. Ola, Uber then how it is influencing the health lifestyle, better access to healthcare, medicine, MNCs. Then I have written about synergization of art, music, and culture, hybridization leading to global moral cosmopolitanism. So these are the words which I had get after multiple answer writing practice. These word uh, slowly get ingrained into my answer. This won't happen overnight, and you would need a multiple practice again and again. That's why I am telling again and again that you should start writing answer from the very beginning. So one thing I would like to say here that if you could have broken it in three parts, how it has helped in aspiration, then lifestyle, then value system, it could have even been better. I had tried to put them in joint form. If you could have written them in separate, it would have been better. Then I have put the negative impact that consumerism, over spiritualism, burger culture, Netflix, then inclusive individualism giving rise to loneliness, stress, substance abuse, and delinquencies. And then I have substantiated it with example that 24% population has become affected by substances, which is NCRB data. So why I have written this point? Because in this current scenario, mental health has become very important and has become key focused in many places. And if you write these points, then it shows your understanding. So that's why I have written this point. Then rise of NCD because of globalization, because of the diabetes pandemic, which has been there because of proliferation of McDonald's or proliferation of rapid delivery things like Blinkit, Swiggy, or Walmartization. These are the things that these are the terms that I have used, which I have gathered through various test series or various practice at home myself. You would get to these terms like Walmartization. Walmartization is nothing but basically the proliferation of uh, Amazon, Flipkart, and these platforms throughout the world. Then Netflixization, people are uh, sitting at the home even on holidays, not getting outside. They are watching shows after shows, and that has led to rise of non-communicable diseases. And this is how I have substantiated, and this is how I have put my value addition as well. Then one negative is that there has been proliferation of extreme ideologies through globalization as well, like wokism, hippie culture. So these are the things you should be writing in your this question. You should be writing both sides, the positive impact, negative impact, and if you can segregate aspiration, lifestyle, value system, even better. Finally, you should end with a good conclusion. I have written that globalization should not lead to westernization, but modernization among value system in true sense. What I have tried to say that globalization should not be copy of Western culture. It should be copy of logical thinking, rational thinking, uh, then inculcation of technology, being tech savvy. So this should be the goal of globalization, not uh, westernization, not just copying from the West. This should not be the globalization. That is the need of any country. So you could have written other conclusion. If you are a student of sociology, then you could have written that globalization is not one dimensional. One dimensional. It has been adopted by multiple countries as per the need of their culture. So you could have ended with whatever you have liked in a optimistic way, or uh, in a way forward that look, this should be what globalization should look like, and this should not be what globalization should be. So this is how you should structure your answer. And is there any doubt on this? So some of the students are asking, it is very difficult to write this much content in 7 minutes. Please suggest solution. So only solution for this is practice again and again. Practice as much question as you can, and practice from the very beginning. So when you start writing, you would not be writing good answer. You would just be writing the basics of globalization, the basics of its positive, the basic of its negative. And when you would be writing multiple answers again and again, day after day, you would be having 1% increment in your knowledge. 1%, your answer would become 1% better day by day, and you would be slowly be able to inculcate these things in your answer. So after multiple practices, multiple round of practices, multiple days of practices, you would be able to write such content in short time. About time management, when you get the hang of answer writing, when you become a bit matured in the answer writing, then you can go on limiting your time day after day. Suppose you are practicing today on the day one, then don't put any time limit. Take as much time as you can. Try to brainstorm, form the skeleton of your answer, and then try to write. Whatever time it takes, don't think about it that I am taking 15 minutes or I am taking 20 minutes or even 30 minutes. Just write your answer on day one or day 10. When you would be able to write the answers easily day after some day, then try to put some time limit. Suppose you are 1 month or 2 months into this practice, then after 1 and 2 months, try to put a time limit that you have set with 220 mark, 215 marker and 210 marker. Then you can put that the 10 markers should take 7 minutes, 14 minutes, and 10 markers should take 11 minutes, 22 minutes, 36 minutes. So you can put 50 minutes for you in the beginning, and slowly try to decrease that time day by day. That would become important in the later part, how you would manage your time. These were the some of things that I would have told you uh, about answer writing, how you should begin your journey of answer writing. Answer writing is very important, which I have told you again and again. Like people are even getting uh, 600 to 700 marks in their mains, and people are even getting 850 and 860 marks. So the gaps that you can create is in the mains, and uh, you can get good mark in the mains only if you have good hold of the answer writing. Many people are there who are clearing prelims years after year, but they are not getting good marks in the main. This is only when you are not practicing your answer. This is only when you are not giving your due on the mains, and uh, a due emphasis uh, on enhancing your answers. So that's why start from the very beginning. However bad answer you write, don't judge your progress on the day one only. Take your time, write daily, write consistently, have a 1% increment in your answers day, and trust me, in the span of 3 or 4 months, you would be starting to write very good answer. You would be able to harness your content. You would be able to harness your knowledge, and you would be able to put them at one place if you have sufficient practice. So that's why do not delay your answer writing journey. Start it from today only. And I would end on this note.